Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, we are going to talk about some of these videos that are all over the place, including TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, where people are bragging about, I made $5,000, I made $7,000, I made $2,000 plus. You all have seen the videos, and it's frustrating. Because when you are that person who, I'm going to test this out, I'm going to see if these people are legit, I'm going to test this opportunity out, I'm going to see if it really makes me money, and you find out that it's foolishness, well, here we go. We're going to expose the systems, okay? Because I know some of these businesses, they're here today, gone tomorrow. And of course, we don't want, defamation of character lawsuits, and we don't want, the type of lawsuits that folks come up with just because they're trying to make money from the lawsuit. But we are going to talk about the systems that are in place to take your money. I'm thinking about those that have long been targeted when I'm recording this message. They've been long targeted for so many years because these are the folks who are, dare we say it, desperate for money. If you're a student and you've got loans upon loans, you're desperate for money. Been there, done it. If you are a retiree, you just got out of the rat race, or unfortunately, you just lost your retirement, you are going to be, what? In need of money. You got that right. If you are a mother, especially with small children, and the man isn't very generous, or the man is generous, but he only has but so much money to help you out with, and you know that you're the babysitter because you can't afford childcare. That's a real issue. Been there, done it, seen the movie, especially in certain states. Oh my goodness. If you all knew how much some of these caretakers are asking to watch your children for 8 to 10 hours, you would say, oh yeah, now I understand why some of these mothers do what they do. Exactly. Okay. Then of course the unemployed, right? Been there, done it, seen a movie. And right now, as we speak, I'm in the business frame of mind. I'm not even in the employment, being an employee for someone. I'm not even in that space because I've been there for so long, being the employee. But I will tell you that these are the groups that, we got to target these folks. We got to tell them, so you're shopping your circle. Who's the student? Who's the retiree? Who's the mother with small children? Who's the person who's unemployed in the circle? And then, of course, some of you all, the rest because you've been targeting all sorts of people in order to make money off of them. The sad part is that when I already don't have that much money, and then somebody says, well, this is going to be $1,000 and this is going to be $2,000 plus. And in order to get my course, it's going to be almost $4,000. And, we'll accept this installment plan, or, where you pay X amount of dollars each month, or we'll accept, you borrowing money and then, you owe that person, or just go into a savings. I know you got a savings, or I know you got, retirement or whatever that you got put away. Why don't you just go ahead on, pull that money out, and let's just go ahead and make that happen. Okay. The systems are out here. The videos are out here. Some of you all, you have been spending a lot of time looking at these various videos. I'm doing this because, one, I want to see if some of this stuff works. Hey, I'm curious, just like everybody else. Two, I know that one of my polls, some of you all said that you're looking for supplemental income. So, hey, if I come across something that's good, I'm going to put a link in the description box. Okay. But I haven't done this sort of thing in years because there's a lot of foolishness out here. And please don't send me any type of messages if you are a part of some of this stuff to tell me or convince me or sell me on. I'm not in that frame of mind. Don't want it. So please, it's not going to help doing that. If you do want to leave something that is legit and it's helping you and you got evidence and proof of it, you can leave that in the comment section, but don't hit me up directly unless, you paying me to advertise. Then we can talk about that. And it better be legit. It better be legit. Anyway, I will tell you that when I see the same type of person marketing the same thing, I am suspect. Like, okay, wait a minute. I'm suspecting. I'm wondering, okay, you targeted this particular ethnicity. I noticed the age range with this particular ethnicity is, ABC. Something's up. I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to see if other people, looks like this guy, he's not marketing anything like this, and neither is this guy, and this guy's a guru. He doesn't even recommend this. When you see a certain target market and they're all saying pretty much the same thing, it's safe to say that they are 9 times out of 10 being paid somehow to recruit others for that, because they wouldn't be wasting their time putting video after video. However, it may be just for a limited amount of time because that company wants to get that populace. So by the time you get word of that particular money-making opportunity, everybody already got most of the money, and now you're coming in when you're not getting as much as other people. One particular company that is doing this sort of thing right now is a company that deals with recruiting participants for research studies, okay, and usability tests. Now, years ago, I did get involved with a company like this, and they were matching me up in the beginning, because the company was still growing. They were still, willing to pay people, all this good stuff. However, things changed as they got more and more people involved with the company. I wasn't matched with as many usability tests, okay? I wasn't matched with as many research studies. And the most that I could tell you that I made, you're looking at $35 a pop over a span of a couple years on and off, about $100 and some dollars, up to $200 and some dollars annually, okay, not in one sitting, because it all boiled down to if they could match you up with certain things, okay. Then another year, okay, they're starting to gain a little popularity. They've got a referral link. Now you've got a couple of ways you can make money, all right. And then there were some good times, and then there were some not so good times. And what I mean by good times was, yeah, there was some money to be made, but it wasn't anything to brag about. It wasn't anything to go on a video and start talking about, I made, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But see, this is where, a lot of these people, unfortunately, are exaggerating and straight up telling lies. Okay. But they can do it without conscience, because at the end of the day, they're just hoping and praying that you're going to stumble across the video and click on the referral link, and just maybe they'll get some money. They're real excited about it because you did click on the referral link, you did sign up. And so now they're like, oh yeah, the potential of this turning into something big in the future is great. So I'll just go ahead and I'll just speak as if I already got. No, you're telling lies. You see what I'm saying? This is how some people will just twist some things around in such a way to make it seem like what we know to be straight up a lie. They'll say, no, God says, and these are believers now. Some of these people are believers. God says that we shall not lie. So stop putting up the videos when until you got evidence and proof, and you're making it on a consistent basis, because you can make that, but then you put up that little paper, or, your little screen proof or whatever else. Did that person make it consistently? Chances are no, they did not. Okay? They did not. So that is something that I've seen quite a few people putting up these, recruiting participants for research studies and usability tests, and having people sign through links and all of that. I would say once you have the name of the company, because they will tell you in some of these videos, then you do the necessary research, and you'll find on places like Trustpilot, and you'll find on Glassdoor, and you'll find on some of the websites that expose scams, you'll find that these names will pop up there. Okay. You'll see where, oh, maybe some people did end up getting money in the beginning and then they fell off. Okay. And then the newcomer coming along, all excited, thinking, "Woo, yes, I'm going to make this money." Well, the other people, they already made their money at the top. So by the time you get a hold of this information and the company has gotten so big, you don't make as much money, if any. I have left surveys alone, and I never recommend those. When I had did one-on-one work from home coaching with people, I never recommended surveys. Surveys, pennies on the dollar. One particular gentleman was on one of the popular social media platforms, and he said, "I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to sign up for a bunch of survey companies, and I'm going to let you know how much money you could potentially make through these companies in an 8-hour period," because he was testing to see whether he should go out there, get a regular job, or do surveys, since he heard and watched so many videos about it. It turned out that man had made less than $20 in an 8-hour period for surveys. Okay. And we're talking about multiple platforms that he signed up for during that time, and then going from platform to platform, trying to make some money. All right. They got what they needed from you when they got your name, when they got your email, when they got, you to fill out the survey so that they can then send it on to their client. Years ago, I used to work for a market research company, and our job was to call you on the phone and ask you to participate in various surveys. There were clients. Many of them were some pretty big name type of clients. And we would pick up the phone and we would call you. "Do you have a bit of time? We just want to ask you some questions." And people would answer these questions. We got our money. We got our money for calling folks about this sort of thing. Okay. We didn't have to give out all sorts of gift cards and points and all these other things. Okay. This was just, do you want to participate? Yes, no. And then we moved on to the next call. All right. We sold you on the fact that this was good, for the environment, if it was about the environment, or this was good for future savings for customers who, like yourself, are a part of this company. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now fast forward, there's the surveys for the gifts and the points and all this other stuff. A long time ago, when these companies were doing, when they were doing their own survey on us participants, on how we wanted to get paid, I right away said, "Cash, please. No gift cards, no points." And I'm sure many others were thinking the same thing. But they knew that the cash wasn't going to be much, and it wouldn't be enough to draw a lot of people in. So they came up with all this fun stuff. But fun is not paying bills, you see. And you want me to sit on a survey for 45 minutes and you're only paying me how many pennies on the dollar? You gotta be kidding me. You see, or your little gift card? Really? So, because so many people went on and said, "Oh, it's okay, it's fine," they keep churning out more and more of these websites and more of these naive individuals. They just spend hours upon hours hoping to match up for everything. And some of them, here's the thing, the surveys aren't necessarily valid surveys, because the people are lying to be able to get matched up with so many surveys, you see. So you plan on taking a trip? No, not really. Oh, well, you will for this survey. You will. You plan on, you plan on buying a new car? Oh, no, not really. But for this survey, you will. You see. And now when you start saying yes to so many different surveys, now you're getting more opportunities in order to make some money. And some people don't care and can do this without any conscience, telling lies, because they're like, well, they're already hustling us with these stupid gift cards and points, so I don't care. But the child of God, come on. You just operating without a conscience. You just doing things to get yourself in trouble with the one true God. So there was another company that I came across, and some individuals had definitely called this out, as well as the website itself that posted the reviews said that it was straight up a scam. Now, if you don't take the time out just to simply research, okay, then you're wasting time just filling out these forms that are out here. Okay. Now, this particular company that people were complaining about, this was one of those where you sit up there and you watch ads, okay? And there's plenty of them out there. I've been looking at these various companies for years, the surveys, the watching ads, all of that. It's foolishness, okay? But once again, they keep churning out naive individuals for these sorts of things. This particular individual, he watched ads all right. You know, he had computers going and everything else because they got tricks out there. If you're going to be doing this kind of stuff, they got all sorts of tricks in how these people are getting money, or, you know, able to make the money based on the screenshots that they claim, those that are legitimately or honestly making the money, right? But they're using tricks, though, in order to do it. And that's what they don't tell you in the video. And those tricks are the things that make them dishonest. So yes, the image, and you see that, and oh my goodness, yes, my sister, my brother, my cousin, because people like to throw that up. Well, I know somebody who makes some money. Yeah, but the thing is that, do you know all the tricks and treats behind it? And even if you do know what the tricks are, do you want to really go around and tell people the shady stuff that they're doing in order to make it? Of course not. So this particular company, you get paid to watch advertisements. The man said that he had been waiting for almost 2 months to be compensated for the ads he saw. Okay. He gets upset about it. He starts, bad mouthing the company and everything. And he wasn't the only one. A bunch of other people did too. He said it's a time wasted. He said it was false advertising. He said that he hadn't even received his $50. And he is saying that, basically they did not give him his money yet. All right. And so people from the company, though, they were responding to his complaint, and they were talking about how, well, this person loves our product and another person hates it, and there's mixed reviews about it. We're sorry about, your experience and all of that. Sorry didn't pay his bills that day. Okay. I'm sure that he was sitting up there thinking, I could make some extra money. I didn't watch all these YouTube videos. People have told me so much about it. And he's upset about it. What's that response going to do for him? He wants his money. You see, someone else, the same scenario, waiting on money, and then in some of these companies, they'll pay people to put some positives up there. Okay. To kind of suppress all of the negativity. So that's why you don't just go to one site to check out reviews, but you go to multiple sites. So Better Business Bureau, Trustpilot, Glassdoor, Quora, Reddit. One of my sons, he faithfully looks at Reddit. And then there's many others out there that people will post up and say, listen, there's, some scams out there, and you guys need to watch out for these scams. Mind you, when I came to see all of these different websites that were boasting about all of this money that these people made, once again, these folks who were talking about it fell in those categories that I talked to you about in the beginning of this message. They were either a student, so very young, a retiree, a mother, whether she had older children, younger children, a mother, and somebody unemployed that was perpetrating like they had a bunch of cash. Okay. Another company that is out there that says, hey, you're going to get paid if you sell your photos. Okay. Now, there are some companies over the years I saw where people were getting paid, but they were getting paid pennies on the dollar. Okay. And now with so many websites out there where you can get stock images for free, it's like, well, why would I go over to this website and pay when I can get stock images? And of course, the sales pitch is, well, we've got quality images, you're able to find more of what you really want for your videos, for your marketing and all this other stuff. Okay. So let's say that you're the one you've got a lot of photos on your phone and you say, I need to do something with these photos. Okay, great. You can upload them to one of those sites, but don't sit up there and act as if you're going to be getting paid a whole lot of money, okay, on a regular basis. And these sorts of income streams are what they call passive, right? But the thing is that you can have pictures up on these websites for years and years and years and not make too much of anything to talk about. But you got folks who'll run around and say, well, I made this and I made that. Now they have these companies that want you to do these tasks where you go out and you snap pictures in a local community to get some money. I did get matched up for some stuff like that. Okay. However, I looked at my gas and I said, by the time I go across town and I snap a picture and then I don't necessarily know too much in terms of where exactly this place is. So there's a headache there because I've never been in that community, things like that. By the time I do all of that, I make what? $7.50? Get out of here. You see, or $4 here or $10 there or whatever, the further out you go. But gas, come on, people, you know what I'm talking about. It costs, right? So unfortunately, one particular company that's been doing this sort of thing, and the people have been there for years. So this was one of those things that was quiet. And that's the thing. Someone told me a while back, they said, you got to get in on some of this when it's in its infancy, when it's just starting out, as opposed to when everybody knows about it, because that's when they change up. That's when they change up on money. That's when they change up on systems and things like that. And you don't benefit as much. Okay. So this particular company, they had people going out there snapping all sorts of pictures and things like that. The positives was if you were an employee of the company, not a freelancer, not somebody looking for a side hustle or anything like that. If you actually worked for the company, right? So you're dealing with customer service or you're, working to fix the website when it goes down, stuff like that, right? Tech things. So for all of that, if you got a positive on a company for being an employee, then you might as well just get a job with the company as opposed to doing the side hustle or the freelance, which most of the folks though don't want to do that. You see, they don't want to do it. They want to do the side hustle or something along those lines. Well, the system turned out it wasn't a good system, running around all over town, snapping some pictures and getting paid pennies on the dollar or actually some dollars. And, meanwhile, gas, right, needs to be paid. And God forbid, if you get into an accident, you'll get upset with yourself. Why in the world did I go across town for this measly wage? Now my car is ruined, you see. Now, there was another site that's been recommended, and it's interesting how they're marketing this particular website. This is one of those that is similar to many of the freelancing websites that we all know, okay? If you put any freelancing service out there, you'll know that this particular company is like them, where somebody will put a service up on a website and then they'll charge X amount of money to complete the service. So you want somebody to create a website for you, or you want somebody to market, or you want someone to type some things for you, or you want someone to manage your social media profiles or something along those lines. So you're paying people to do it. Well, this particular service website, the way these people are marketing it is they will give you some tips, like 3 to 5 tips on how to make some money. And then they will lead you pretty much to the website. Okay. And why is that? So that you will go on the website, sign up through their link, and create your account to sell whatever your service is. Okay. So if you decide to go with maybe one of those tips that they recommend on making some money, you're going to need somewhere to market, and they know that. So what they're doing is they're drawing you to the website. Right? Give a little bit of advice, solve a little bit of a problem. Voila, you'll go through the link. No problems there, right? Many of us, we got links to all sorts of things that we do online. I've been doing that for years, right? I tell you what it is that the Lord speaks to me about. If you so happen to want to go in the description box and sign up to something or provide a donation or whatever it is that you want to do, so be it. When things get shady is when you got individuals that are promising sun, moon, and stars within the video that they're going to help you with this and help you with that. And they don't really help you with anything. You're not telling me, oh, well, this is the tool that I'm going to need in order to do A, B, and C, right? It's like asking a person to paint your house, okay? But you know this person doesn't have all the tools in order to paint the house. And you all haven't discussed the tools. And you're assuming that the person just knows, okay? Because they offered their service. Well, did you tell me everything about what you were offering? Or did you hold some things back? Like, well, I'm only going to paint the trim of, your house, like the baseboards. That's it. I'm not painting no walls. Right? So you're watching these videos and you're in anticipation that they're going to tell you all of these tools that they use, and they don't. Okay? That's a waste of time. A waste of time, a waste of effort. And so, it is what it is. Something, though, that I did come across, and don't get me wrong, those sites, they're great. But here's the problem. There's too many people competing for certain services. So you've got to try to figure out what service is not in demand in order for you to take a piece of the pie and grab some customers. Because the obvious ones that everybody talks about and the people post those services on the freelance websites, those are the ones that are in high competition. I would stay away from those. The very ones that I mentioned, like the typing, right? You're going to find plenty of people that are doing the same thing. Okay. Another popular website for just putting up jobs or offering services, things like that. One of the things over the years that people used to talk about was the scammers that would utilize the website in order to hustle people, So the thing was the workaround is that while they're telling you about, oh, you can make money selling things, you can make money offering services, when you're using these classified ad sites, you're going to have to agree, depending on what community you live in, you're going to have to agree to meet at the police station. Okay? Because then this way, you know that whoever this person is that you're buying something from or you're offering a service, that they already know you drawing a line in the sand from the door. You're not going to hustle me. Okay? And that's a good way to eliminate shady folk. Oh, okay, no problem. Then we can meet at the police station. No, I thought maybe we could meet at your house. No. You see. Now, these sites got bad names over the years because of the shady people that used the sites and they didn't think about their safety. Okay, so it doesn't make the website bad. It makes people who are unwise in their decision making. That's what makes that's where the issue is. That's where the problems are. Okay, not the website. But you know how folks are. They screw up and then they want to down a website. One of the ways many people are connecting with folks for services that they provide is on your social media platforms where there's groups, where there's, places that you can be able to communicate with a certain segment, where you're able to post even your service within that group. Okay. So if you have a service, then you're going to the various social media platforms, your local websites that offer opportunities for people to connect, talk, as well as in person even, right? Old school. We meet offline, we have some similar interests, and then I say something like, by the way, I offer this service. Oh, do you? You see, people do this sort of thing through memberships with clubs. Some folks, they don't have memberships to clubs, right? So if you're trying to, let's say, sell something that you might think the group can benefit from, it would make sense to become a member. If you're starting a business, right? There are those companies that are out there that have these networks where you can be able to participate in some of the business networking that goes on, right? So you may have a product, you may have a service, but the biggest challenge is, how am I going to let people know that I have this product, that I have this service? And that is something that I'm doing right now in terms of, okay, who am I going to reach out to? How am I going to reach out to these people? And are they going to benefit from the service? And then if they're not going to benefit from the service, then what I do is I say, well, I'm not offering that particular service to that particular group. So I'm going to move on to the next. You see, they may want it. Still, nobody wants the service. Okay, so that's a bust, you see. Now, there was this particular there was quite a few particular videos that were floating around talking about transcription, and then others that were talking about translations. Okay, where I found that there was some issue is just in the competition of all these people, on some of these websites offering transcription services, offering translation services. It's like, okay, thank you. But am I really going to make some money? Where you could make some money is individually away from those major platforms, like putting a single ad somewhere or talking to some people in your circle. Do you need transcription? Do you need translation? The next event that you go to, having business cards in hand, because the internet is just flooded with so many people doing the same thing, you see. But you see me in person. That's the advantage, right? Or we are going to be seeing each other quite a bit because of our affiliation offline. So it would make sense to do business with somebody who I can physically talk to this person, outside of the internet world. I can shake this person's hand. We can go over things, at the local coffee shop, that sort of thing. But you run into the trust issue when I don't know this person. And they're asking me for what? And this is some sensitive information. One particular individual said that what he did was he just gives a fake name when doing business online. This way, they're not searching for his name on other platforms. And it's not the type of service that or these people who are helping him with his various requests, they don't need to know his name, his real name. So that's how he does business. Okay. All you want is either you want somebody to complete a service, or you yourself, you're offering a service. So if you have another business, another world out there that you don't want your clients to know about, then, and that if we search your name, we can see then maybe it's best just to use an alternative name for the services that you're providing. Okay. Or even selling. There were those people who reported that they did have success with going to websites that where they could sell items. Okay. So there's apps out there. We know there's auction selling platforms and so forth. What I noticed is people are on multiple platforms. That is where the success is happening. Is that 5 people here, they might have customers, and then 30 some odd customers here, and then 100 and something here, and 1,000 there. So when they're showing you, oh, this site I make this money, and that site I make that money, that's because they got multiple accounts or multiple websites that they're working from. Okay. When I looked at, once again, some of these apps where you sign up for various things, case in point, some of those where there's the exchange of money. You want to send your friend some money, or you want to start a bank account, and they've got these different apps, and then they have a referral code. People have been making money that way. But once you have put that up within your circle over and over and over again in so many different ways, the money falls away. Yes, there is a potential of making money. I have personally done this sort of thing for someone who recommended a particular company. We even put a video up, and we were able to get some people to sign via a link. But it was definitely passive income, and it wasn't anything to talk about. So, they like to brag. The people who market some of this stuff that's out here with their little referral links and stuff, or referral codes, they market it like, whoo, there's just so much money. Yeah, well, there's always reasons as to why some people make more money than other people. And I would say, if you're going to do research what they're doing in order to bring people to their link. If they're using their real name, you could even look at the various marketing techniques that they use in order to draw people to their referral links. The dropping off food or dropping off people, driving around town, those do work. But what I found was, when I signed up for some of them, what I found was there was a waiting list. And then when the waiting list was lifted, I did travel with an individual who had drove people around initially years back, and then turned around and said, oh, okay, now that they got the food app, I don't have to deal with people. I could just drop off food. But where the app was taking that person, was it really worth the money? Once we tested it out, it really wasn't. And then if you declined too many of them, then you weren't going to be selected in order, or you weren't going to have access in order to, get more, more potential runs. So that's one of those things where, if desperate times call for desperate measures, okay, how much does it cost for gas and how far are you driving? And that app was sending him pretty far. Okay. A lot of the other drivers, they were snatching up some of the places that were closer a lot faster. One particular individual said how he worked it was, he went downtown, and he sat over by a very populated restaurant circle where it was just a bunch of restaurants. And he parked his car also near an apartment building. And that was how he was able to, watch the wear and tear on his car, in addition to saving gas money. He strategically placed himself somewhere where he could just walk. I'm going to walk over to the circle, grab the food, then cross the street, and then go over to the apartment building, and then ride the elevator up and do it all over again. So if you can find, an area like that, kudos to you. And as far as some of those investment apps that are out there, I've had like people just talk about those. There's been mixed reviews out there. Some of the investment apps, they started increasing in marketing. And a lot of times that's because, well, you got to look at the old news reports within the past year or two. They're wanting people to sign up for the investment apps pretty bad and willing to pay some decent money because they got some negative stories out there. Okay. Some of them didn't have negative stories, or they did, but they got buried. So definitely check the various platforms that talk about scams, as mentioned earlier, so that you know what's really going on, okay, with whatever investment app you decide, oh, I want to sign up, and then, I might want to be able to make some extra money this way as well, just make sure. So that's pretty much it for this particular audio. Like I said, if I ever come across things that I know for sure, no doubt, I got evidence and proof, and it's great, it's wonderful, I love this sort of thing, then I'll be the first to put something in the description box. But for the most part, I will say that what has worked has been the things that we all know already. The providing a service of some sort, but then advertising that service on various platforms, both on and offline. Okay. As long as you know there's not a lot of competition in your area for that. Then, of course, the job, right? You don't have to worry about the hustle. I know I'm going to, go to that job. I know what's expected of me. I set aside time for that particular job. And you don't have to do the whole full time, job business. You could do part-time with the job and then part-time with your side hustle. One particular company actually encouraged that. And I was like, whoa. And they, through our training, told us, they said, these are some of the things that our current employees do, and went on and talked to us about that. And they said, you can be able to do the same as well, just so long as your side hustle does not conflict with our company. And then they went on and talked to us about how that could be. But it worked for some people. It worked so well that they said, thank you so much for allowing us to do that, but I'm no longer working for your company anymore because I'm doing real well with my side hustle. So that tends to happen as well. For those of you all who have yet to get my book, What Else Can I Do on the Internet? Do check that out, okay? Years ago, I had talked about the various ways that people make money online, and in order to keep it as a timeless work, I didn't get into naming all sorts of websites and so forth, just like with this particular audio, because what I found was when I did the research back then, as well as what I'm seeing now, is that some of these websites are being shut down. Some of these websites, they're getting so much backlash from the public that they're not even operating. Some of them are still operating, but they're not doing so well. So when you have these various ideas or thoughts, or you're doing research, always keep that in mind. Is this something that's built to last? Is this something that I can just pop in and pop out, before it gets bad? Do your research. But yes, that book is out there. I created it a long time ago for individuals who, I was going through some things at that particular time in my life, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do my research. And then after I'm done with my research, I'm going to create a book to help some people out. And hopefully, we could all make some money together. And then sure enough, there were some things that people did find in that book that were beneficial. It did inspire them to do some fun things, some good things, some knowledgeable things. It's not all about making money in that book. There's also just ways to research on the internet effectively so that you can get the results that you want. So do get the book. What else can I do on the internet? I thank you so much, as always, for taking time out of your schedule to listen. You've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. We do welcome giving, and thank you.